going on, guys? Welcome into Vikings Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Patrick Siepman. The Vikings did just sign Sam Darnold late last night and Aaron Jones this morning. So we'll be breaking them down a little bit more in depth. I had to make some videos actually at the house, so I wasn't able to kind of fully deep dive into all the deep stats and analytics and really get, what I wanted to say out there on those two. But I got some stats on both those guys, and we'll just be also going over the other signings that the Vikings have. And then also later on in the show, I think it's becoming more and more likely as it stands right now that the Vikings will be trading up for a quarterback in this year's draft, whether it's J.J. McCarthy, Drake Maye, or maybe they go big and can somehow land, Jayden Daniels. We'll obviously have to wait and see. But let's start off with Sam Darnold. He is signing with the Minnesota Vikings on a one-year, $10 million deal, and I know people are already freaking out. Sam Darnold on a $10 million deal, why would the Vikings do that? What a downgrade from Kirk Cousins to Sam Darnold, and I hear you. Like, Sam Darnold is not, going to push the needle for the Minnesota Vikings. Not going to turn him into a Super Bowl contender, but in terms of him just being a solid backup and a bridge quarterback, I think he was honestly at the top of my list. And people forget about this. This dude was the number 3 overall pick in the NFL draft for a reason. He's got a big-time arm. He's got big-time athleticism. Really, I believe in kind of the potential still available there for Sam Darnold as well. And I was looking at some deep analytics on his game from last season, and we'll actually dive into just his whole career as a whole. So here's some deep stats from PFF here. So turnover-worthy play percentage. Out of every single play Sam Darnold runs, he causes a turnover-worthy play 3.4% of the time. Obviously, that is about middle of the pack in the NFL. He's at 4.1% on his entire career. So no doubt turnovers are the biggest negative of his game. And then also big-time throw percentage. This is actually a positive of Sam Darnold. It's at 3.7% on his career, but 2.0% last year with the Niners. Again, limited sample size, only threw 48 passes. But his ADOT, average depth of target, is at 8.7 for last year and on his entire career. His adjusted completion percentage sits at 69.8, and then on his career, it's actually at 72.5. So way higher than his regular completion percentage of just 58 or 59.5. I think Darnold, he's got the chance to be great here in Minnesota because mainly of the support system the Vikings can offer. And I've talked about this multiple times on the channel. The Vikings are going to be able to offer one of the best support systems for a quarterback out there. You have Justin Jefferson, a true wide receiver one, in my opinion, the best non-quarterback in the entire National Football League. You have Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison, young and up-and-coming receiver. I think he's got top 10 potential. Obviously, TJ Hawkinson coming off a season-ending knee surgery. I think he'll be good by Thanksgiving. You still got Josh Oliver and Johnny Munt re-signing. And then, obviously, we'll get to Aaron Jones here in a second, but giving him a solid run game behind him. And my take on Sam Darnold, I still think he has the potential to be a true week-to-week, year-to-year starter in the NFL. And he's also a great bridge or a great option to be a bridge quarterback in the NFL, whether it's a J.J. McCarthy, Drake Maye, whoever you want to draft, and you maybe want to have those guys sit behind a quarterback for half a season, maybe a season, or maybe 2 seasons. I think Darnold offers that to you, where they can learn from Sam. He was just in with the Niners organization. I love the tutelage. I love the kind of just the overall just kind of smart minds over there. I think like not just in football, but in life, a lot of people are a product of their own environment. I think Sam Darnold's just going to take that next step. Obviously, learning from Kyle Shanahan and all. I just think Sam Darnold, I believe in him. It's a low-risk, high-reward type of move for Minnesota. But this is the move I love the most. Aaron Jones signing a one-year, $7 million deal with Minnesota, and it was needed because looking at some chat stats right now, the Vikings rushing attack over the last 2 seasons has been terrible. 27th in Kevin O'Connell's first year in 2022, averaging 97 rush yards per game. But then this past season, the Vikings only averaged 91.4 rushing yards per game, which was 29th in the league. And Aaron Jones would definitely answer that question because, listen, he's a stud, man. Like, looking at his stats over the last 4 years, he's just been consistent. He doesn't have as many kind of miles on those tires as most people would think. But again, he's great. He's been a great dual threat guy for Green Bay as well. Really been a great leader in the locker room. And I really do believe he comes into Minnesota and he is a top 5 player top 10 player, on this roster. And this is a stat I love. It's called rushing yards over expected. So after every game, after every rush attempt, some analytical guys will go and watch the film and say, okay, on this rushing attempt, a running back was supposed to get 3, 5, 7 yards. Let's just say it's supposed to be a 3-yard run, and the running back gets 5. It will add 2 yards to the rushing yards over expected. Well, Aaron Jones, from week 16 to the divisional round, he was at plus 151, a almost 60-yard lead over the guy in second, which was quarterback Josh Allen. Aaron Jones, he killed the Cowboys in the playoffs last season, going for over 100 yards and, having 3 touchdowns as well. And it gets me to this. This is my favorite signing by far during free agency. There is no doubt about it. Bringing in Aaron Jones was huge for this football team, and it was just overall one of those moves where it's just like, it's not going to work out, if that makes sense. Like, the floor of this signing is huge. Like, Aaron Jones, barring a major injury next season, I think is going to work out. He'll probably run for over 1,000 yards, get 10 touchdowns. I think him and Ty Chandler will make for a great 1-2 punch at the running back room. But if you guys want to welcome the new guys to the team, all I got to ask you, drop a like on today's video. Maybe one of their family members, maybe one of their friends is searching up on YouTube, seeing what Vikings fans have to say about him. Well, welcome them to the squad. And, like today's video. See if we get 1,000 likes on today's show. I'd really appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up icon. It's free and help us out. But Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has been cooking this free agency. And I am really just proud, I should say, of Kwesi. Like, obviously, I'm not saying he was on the hot seat coming into this season, but he was definitely under a little bit of scrutiny because dating back to that 2022 draft class, it was not pretty. I mean, Lewis Cine, as it stands right now, is looking like a true bust in the NFL. And also, like, you got Andrew Booth, Caleb Evans, like, those guys really work out, and Ingram, like Brian Asamoah, a lot of wasted draft picks for Kwesi, but look at what he's done so far. I love the move of Johnny Mundt. 1 year, $25 million deal. Jonathan Grenard, a 4-year, $76 million deal. Questenberry details TBA, but I like him, just giving some depth at that offensive line. And then Blake Brandel, being that solid swing tackle. I like that move, as well. And then you got some more moves on defense that I really like. You got Andrew Van Ginkel coming in at a 2-year, $20 million deal. He's one of the highest-rated edge rushers in the National Football League last season. Blake Cashman on a 3-year, $25 million deal was really, really good. We already talked about Sam Darnold and Aaron Jones. But then also you got your kicker from the XFL, John Parker Romo. So Greg Joseph will not be the kicker next season. But all of these moves, like, if you just take the Kirk Cousins thing out of it, and you just look at what the Vikings truly did this offseason, like, if I had to give it a grade, I've been saying I would give it an A-. Like, I really do believe that. I think Kwesi has been cooking up this offseason. I think he's been putting the Vikings in a direction where it's like, we are entering the KOC and Cam era. Like, we are finally off Daniil Hunter, probably going to move off Harrison Smith. No more Kirk Cousins. Obviously, no more Zimmer and Spielman. Like, this is the era that Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah wanted to kind of get in, and I would probably have to give it a A- grade so far, but you guys let me know. Grade Vikings free agency so far, A, B, C, D, or F. I said A-. Maybe you guys disagree with me, but I really do think Kwesi has done a tremendous job this off season. Now, even though the Vikings did bring in Sam Darnold, I do still think Minnesota does need to trade up and draft a quarterback. And listen, I don't think they have any chance to get Caleb Williams. I mean, Caleb Williams is going to be drafted by the Chicago Bears, and he's going to be in the division, no doubt about it. But looking at some of these other guys, we have heard reports that the Vikings are extremely interested in Drake Maye, and we got a report saying that if Drake Maye falls to number 3 overall, that the Vikings could offer the Patriots a wild deal to land him. I like J.J. McCarthy, obviously a little bit of a polarizing prospect a lot of unknown to his game, but I like what he's about. I like the intangibles. And with a guy like JJ, I would love for him to sit for a year in the NFL and really just develop and hone his skill set. Maybe put on a little bit more size. He did weigh in at 220 at the NFL Scouting Combine, which, is solid, a lot heavier than a lot of people would have thought originally. But, overall with JJ, I think he would work out in the league. You got Jayden Daniels, even though I do think after the Mariota signing, he will be a Washington Commander. And then Michael Penix. I think Penix would be an okay option if the Vikings do sit there at number 11 overall and they don't want to trade up and go get a quarterback. I think a guy like Penix would be a great, great choice. But if the Vikings get any 5 of these guys, I think they would work out just because of mainly, the support system that the Vikings would really offer these guys. Like, of having 2 bookend tackles, of having, an offensive-minded head coach, of having the plethora of weapons that the Vikings can give a guy. Like, I really do believe that this team is setting themselves up to be great in the future. They just need to get the quarterback right, and I don't think that's a bad position to be in. Like, I know everybody's saying, like, oh, who's going to be the Vikings quarterback, yada, yada, yada. Like, look at what the Niners have been doing the past couple of years. They almost made it, or they made the Super Bowl last year with Brock Purdy, the last pick in the draft, in at quarterback. And maybe it's a guy in the middle rounds, like a Spencer Rattler. Maybe the Vikings fall in love with him, and they trade up into the second round, and they go nab him. Like, I really do believe the Vikings, they've set themselves up for the future here, and it's all positive vibes moving forward in Minnesota. And will they draft a quarterback? Man, I hope so, because I think it would definitely be worth it. But you guys let me know. It's not would you draft a quarterback, it's will the Vikings draft a quarterback. Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no down in the comments section. Curious to see what you guys got to say. If I'm watching this video, I'm probably typing my Y's down below. I do think the Vikings will draft a guy, no doubt. But I do want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's show. Little rumors roundup around the Minnesota Vikings here. Obviously, they made some big-time moves late last night and also this morning by bringing in Aaron Jones and Sam Darnold. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel here, trying to hit 23,000 subscribers. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.